Coming up on this week's news, an electrician cheats death after falling into molten aluminium at an incredible 720 degrees Celsius. We name the UK's best and worst city in which to be a self-employed electrician, and short electrical courses are under fire. An industry leader slams so-called 6-week wonders. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly in association with Myenergi, whether you're listening in the van, on site or down at the wholesale counter. I'm Joe Robinson and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. And as always, if you think you spotted the two words that I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win a prize. A 25-year-old electrician had a serious brush with death after falling into a vat of molten aluminium at a temperature of 720 degrees Celsius. The unnamed man fell through a trapdoor into the furnace where he became immersed up to his knees in the super hot liquid metal. However, he retained his composure and still managed to pull himself out despite suffering horrific burns. He was working with a colleague at the factory in St Gallen in northeast Switzerland when he fell into an opening at the top of the furnace. Air rescue paramedics gave him first aid before flying him to hospital in a helicopter. Swiss police are investigating how the accident happened. It's hoped that he'll make a full recovery, and the thoughts of the eFIXX team are with him. In other news, France has brought in a law requiring all large car parks to be covered by solar panels. President Emmanuel Macron said facilities with capacity for more than 80 vehicles must be covered with PV within 5 years. The French government believes the measure could generate up to 11 gigawatts of power. Here in the UK, the Metro Centre has taken inspiration from the French with a huge array of PV panels on its roof. The shopping centre has spent almost £3 million on 3,500 panels, which cover both new carports and the roof of the gigantic centre. They cover an area equivalent in size to 88 tennis courts, and they generate a stonking 1.2 gigawatts. That's enough to power 600 electric cars for a year. The installation was put in by the experienced renewable specialists Syzygy Consulting. My apologies if I've pronounced that wrong. However, there's been a reminder this week that not everyone installing solar and other technologies is qualified to do it. The head of Scotland's largest trade body has criticised a rising trend of people entering the electrical industry after taking just a short course in basic skills. Alan Wilson, chief of the Scottish Electrical Contractors Association Select, slammed the newcomers as 6-week wonders. He said people with inadequate training and experience pose a safety risk to both the electrical sector and consumers. He went on to say there was no substitute for a proper apprenticeship. Wilson warned that people with pound signs in their eyes faced being taken advantage of by rogue trainers offering worthless short courses, or as we think of it, riskier than a Bitcoin investment. He said to imagine you can do in 6 weeks what real electricians are doing in 6 or 7 years just doesn't add up. For older people wanting a change in career to the electrical sector, he recommended adult apprenticeship schemes as the best option for securing a valuable and recognised qualification. When they qualify, there'll be plenty of demand for their skills, but where are the top places in the UK to ply your trade? New research has now revealed the best and worst cities in which to be an electrician. A team of experts has trawled through key data, including the demand for electricians in terms of the number of jobs available in a 5-mile radius. They also considered market saturation, the number of sparks available in a place according to search data. The lower this figure, the better. And finally, they calculate the average hourly rate for work, with the higher being the better. Putting all their data into a computer reveals that the best city in which to be an electrical contractor, with a score of 74 out of 100, it's, drumroll please, Bristol, or Brizzle as I believe the cool kids call it. So they probably don't. The city of the Avon offers both the highest demand and the most jobs available than any other place in the country. So if you're looking to spark interest in your business, Bristol could well be your best option. This was followed by Edinburgh, Cambridge, Southampton, Cardiff, Manchester, Glasgow, Leicester, Brighton and Oxford. Bristol, Edinburgh, Cardiff and Liverpool have the highest demand for electricians. If money is a major factor for you, then St Albans and Brighton might be your first port of call. They offer an average of £44 and £41 per hour respectively. Might have to get on Rightmove. By contrast, the toughest UK city in which to be an electrician is Truro in Cornwall. The city has low demand, very few jobs and poor hourly rates. Also bad are Newry, Lisburn, Lichfield, Southend-on-Sea, Wells, Durham, Canterbury and Derry. Now, wherever you work in the UK, if you think you're smashing it out the park, keeping your customers exceptionally happy and making a few quid into the bargain, then we want to hear from you. We're on our annual hunt for the residential installer of the year. It's a very special special category in the prestigious eFIXX Awards, and it's sponsored by our good friends in Luden Palazzoli. Together, we're looking for commitment, we're looking for pizzazz, we're looking for the X factor. So it doesn't matter whether you're a well-established firm or an upstart whippersnapper. If you think you've got what it takes, you can nominate yourself in the category. Or you can also nominate someone else. Simply head over to the eFIXX Awards website and get entering. I've popped the link into the show notes. In product news this week, Hager has launched the market's first 20 amp double pole switch with isolation. Under the 18th edition of the wiring regs, switches with isolation must comply with two different standards, BSEN 60669-1 for switching and 60669-2-4 for isolation. The new 20 amp double pole isolation switch has been independently tested and certified to both measures and therefore provides compliance and peace of mind to installers, says the company. The new isolating switch is part of the company's Solista range. Hellerman Tyton has come up with what we consider a really tidy alternative to cable glands in panels and cabinets. It's developed the Vario plate, which is made up of flexible mini frames and rubber grommets that can be changed to match different varieties of cables. You can configure yourself to accommodate the cable sizes that you're handling. The Vario plate allows for up to 40 cables per frame and has easy reassembly along with cutout sizes of the enclosure up to 54 by 115mm, so that you can even dismantle and reassemble the frame to suit your specific needs. You can also add a seal to protect the Vario plates' IP65 and IP66 ratings for protection against dust and water entering the enclosure, while separate strain relief ensures that the cables can be secured into place using cable ties without the risk of strain or pulling. Megger has unveiled its latest multifunction tester, and we're pleased to report that it passes the I want one test. The dead clever MFT-X1 has lots of cool features. For instance, it includes a confidence rating in the accuracy of the measured loop impedance. You can individually configure the auto sequence RCD testing. There's automatic volt drop calculation, stabilised IR test voltage output, and a replaceable lithium-ion battery module. It will also fill in its own test certificates using Bluetooth to transfer the results directly to a Cert Suite app running on an iPhone, iPad or Android phone, making certificate completion quick and easy. You can also upgrade the software should regulations or standards change. It covers all test requirements for low voltage electrical installations, including EV charge points and domestic photovoltaic systems. Now, you wouldn't expect all this functionality to come cheap, so expect to pay around £1,300 excluding VAT when the MFT-X1 ships in early 2023. We hope to give it an eFIXX bench test, so keep an eye out for that. And finally, there are some strange goings on at discount retailer B&M. Shoppers have revealed that they keep getting electric shocks from their trolleys as they walk up and down the aisles. They say that when you reach out to put something in your trolley, you get what our scriptwriters have described as a zzzt, a sharp buzzing feeling in your fingertips when you touch the metal part of the cart. If you think that's one of this week's challenge words, by the way, it's spelt exactly as it sounds. 6 Zs and a T. The static charges have been driving customers crazy, and they've taken to social media to vent their frustrations. One woman says she no longer allows her children to sit inside the trolley because they keep getting zapped. Another claims she'll only use hand baskets because she hates the sensation that much. A regular visitor to the B&M at Newport says it can really wake you up when you're doing a morning shop. Experts reckon the incidents are caused by a combination of the type of flooring in stores and the rubber wheels on the trolleys. These wheels can act as insulators, gradually building up an electrostatic charge as the trolley is pushed around. That static is held in the metal cart until it touches something that's grounded, namely the person pushing it, who then gets a jolt. So let's be safe out there, people. When in B&M, regularly ground the trolley to avoid a static build-up. That's it for this episode, but coming up on our YouTube channel this week, we'll be building on our theme of robust lighting reviews when I take a look at the Horizon linear fitting, which has a lovely direct-indirect feature. I take a trip down memory lane to my roots by diving into a Q&A about currents in neutral conductors, and I'll be chauffeuring Gary to his latest college connection down in Essex at New City College in Rainham. And then we're continuing so far south, there's a chance we'll run out of land as we head to the Marshall Toughlex production facility in Hastings, so keep your eyes peeled across all the usual social media platforms to keep up with the fun. If you think you know the words I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments and we'll dig out a goodie bag prize to the first to get the right answers. Last week's words were hobbit and bobsleigh, hence the extremely current and relevant reference to Cool Runnings, a movie about Jamaican athletes released in 1993. No doubt that bewildered some of our younger viewers. And the first person to get both right was someone by the name of Oriel Zob, who gave the answers in consecutive comments. Well done to you, Oriel. please click the link in the description below to claim your prize. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly in association with Myenergi. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week, stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque calibrated arm.